to them, told them, the thing with this program is everybody takes their turn in the dunk tank, is how you get somewhere. If everybody sacrifices a little bit, we can actually move the ball forward. And so it is in discussion. Yes, sir. You have a very persuasive friend next to you.
Yes. Thank you. It's more of a comment than anything else. My wife and I and neighbor, we were down at Delphi. Well, I guess one of the reasons we're here today is giving a call on them. But
no matter what I do, I'm in trouble.
But no, we really appreciate the time you've taken for all these meetings. And I think one of the reasons some of us are here is the fact that we've seen some of the meetings throughout the country, a lot more contentious than anything we've been to, and that's a testament to...
It's a testament to the people of this district and the state.
And the only unfortunate thing is you are a junior congressman. I wish you had the ability to provide more leadership to the people, our leaders in Washington. The concern that some of us have is the fact that, in effect, we have one-party government right now. And regardless of which political party is in power, it's probably a bad thing when that happens. But as we see it, some of us do, we've got party leadership, some of the political party leadership with the left hand on the steering wheel and both feet on the accelerator. And there's going to be change coming, but it needs to be done in a fashion that takes into a lot of things into account. And reform is one of them. Being in the insurance business and working with people who have purchased health insurance, being a small business owner, paying for it, being in a family that's had health concerns, I've seen the whole spectrum of things. And I've had people in their 60s say, you know what, this health insurance is so expensive, and you know, what are we going to do? Some of it needs to be expectations. I mean, 18-year-olds pay $2,000 for car insurance for a reason. They use it. Okay? 60-year-olds should pay more for health insurance than 24-year-olds because they use it. But everybody needs to have some skin in the game, as you mentioned, and whether it's tort reform, okay, whether it's regard to more competition with insurance companies, and just maybe a general looking at everything, but understanding that there is no free lunch. Okay, and Medicare, with the issues financially that we have there right now, you know, we have 25% of our population are boomers, and it's going to be like a real clutch to the whole system there. So, again, I appreciate just being able to be heard, and your representation of us. I think you're kind of a reasonable guy, and I hope what you have to say carries some weight to D.C.
Well, thank you. And as you said, there's no free lunch, and that's the bottom line of this whole thing is how do we do this? You know, we looked up, and all of a sudden our debt went from $5 to $10 trillion. And if we look up and do the same thing and it goes even further, we put the whole future in jeopardy. And so what we're trying to do is work through this and how do we provide better care to more without blowing up our financial system. Yes, sir.
The previous gentleman mentioned a free lunch. What will be done with this bill and all future bills to keep earmarks and pork out of them?
Okay. Let me ask you this. Here's the stuff I find amusing. I should say amusing, but you know, here's what you have to understand. 4 years ago, we had 4 times more appropriation requests, what are called earmarks, than you do now. And so many of the folks who are up in arms and running around with signs with little pigs on them didn't object at all. And I don't understand how 4 years ago, when there were 4 times more, nobody was saying anything.
I did object back then.
But we reduced it by 75%. We plan to try to reduce them even more on a constant basis. And the thing we have to watch is those funds are not funds that wouldn't be, those are funds that are already in the budget. And instead of the executive branch spending it, like the Department of Transportation at the federal level spending it, is been determined by the congressional office for that small portion. So one of the things I heard yesterday is folks are mad about the executive branch and czars and all of these things making decisions. And they said, we want you to make decisions, Joe. And so that is a small portion of funds that I made decisions on. And we can continue to eliminate that. But then what we have to also do is see if we want to just have it go back to the executive branch, where we go to the Department of Transportation and the Department of Energy, or eliminate that funding. I will tell you that I did make requests this past year. The requests I made were all for things like suing. You have it on my mind, sir. Sewage and plumbing and roads and all things that would be done one way or the other. And so if you could restrict it to that, that's another good step as we continue to try to bring the number of that down. Yes, ma'am.